Yeah,
Look at his hiking boots. The shades over the hat. If this guy walked in, would you not be creeped?
Oh no, I'd be watching this guy.
Who does that when they walk into a restaurant? Bro, how awkward was that entrance?
Yeah. Like, just be natural.
In any way, shape, or form, be natural.
Just slow. It's almost like the old like westerns you see where he like blows open the doors of the saloon, and, like steps in with his boots and
He's
like takes stock of who's in there. Yeah, exactly. They might as well put that sound over it.
Yeah, that was. And this is what bothers me about this show is why did he have to be so awkward?
Well, yeah, I think he's overdoing it a little bit.
He's way overdoing it. He's way overdoing it, dude. I could picture what's happening on this scene. They're saying, Chris, remember, you're an SF guy. When you walk into a restaurant, you're always worried about your back against the wall. Right. You're paranoid about who's in there. You're casing it. You're looking at everybody. And so he walks in, he's like, I'm casing. I'm looking at everybody.
My family was just murdered.
Against the wall.
He's like sliding behind tables and chairs.
If anyone walks into that restaurant like that, everyone in the restaurant's going to stop and be like, he's going to shoot up the place.
Yeah. I don't feel comfortable with you
here.
Check,
please. That guy's weird. Dude, those little interactions are why this show irks me.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, the expectation I had for Chris Pratt, dude, he's one of the greatest actors. Like, he's one of the, like, not greatest actors as far as, like, talent and the things he's done. Well, that's f***ed up. But he's one of the most... He's one of the most popular actors at the time.
Right.
And he's coming in to do a show that is essentially below his pay grade. And he's destroying it as far as little things that should be easy. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Is that unfair, though?
I mean, you're being a bit critical, I think, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to be like, this scene sucks, and just move on.
And I get that.
Or you could just say, this show sucks.
And move on.
Because all the acting in the entire show is completely terrible.
But here's the part that bothers me is they have great actors. They have a lot of great actors. I think an actor can only do so much with shitty dialogue.
Yeah.
And I think this dialogue is hot shit.
Well, maybe they're doing probably what you would think they would do, and Jack Carr is like more drama, not dramatic enough.
Somebody's them up.
Maybe somebody keeps making them, dial it up, a little bit more. Like, you walked in there a little too carefree. I need you to really look around, see who's here.
Civilians aren't going to know that you're casing the joint by
looks. Be more obvious.
Yeah, and maybe that's the case. And so that could be the distinction between, someone who cases every restaurant I go into and sits my back against the wall. I do all the things that they're having him do. But I like to think I don't look like that doing it.
Well, you got to think about like the lens that you're looking at this through, right? You already know all this, but like you're saying, like for the regular civilian watching the show, maybe you got to be a little bit more, noticeable. Be like, hey, I'm looking at everybody, I'm casing the joint.
Yeah, I get that.
Right, I'm seeing who's here. You can't just we pick up on it, but everybody else might not catch it if it wasn't so obvious.
I get that, and I would 100% succeed to that. The only thing I wish that we could do is do two versions of the show. One where they try to make it obvious for the audience, and one where they assume that the audience is not handicapped and could figure it out on their own and just acts natural and see which one is better. I can almost guarantee that the audience would still pick up that an operator walking into a restaurant is going to case the joint, regardless if he's a robot or not, and they're still smart enough to put it all together. And the natural fluidity of it would make it a better show.
Yeah. Put your pants back on, Abel.
Oh, got him.
Shut that car down real quick.
Yeah. You okay, buddy? I didn't see this.
So first of all, this is obviously where one of the scenes that makes this show dope. Love this scene. It's so sick. This is where like having Jack Carr's experience really elevates the show. I just think that if they would have taken this and made it 10 times more and then took all the bullshit talking and made it 10 times less, we would have a really sick movie.
Yeah, I thought this scene was dope. I love
This
that
scene is super
how
dope.
he hit the car. He used the back of his car, which his car is still going to be operable. He hit the front of the other car, which is going to make that car inoperable
Yeah.
now. He gets out. He's like still trying to figure out if it is an
Yeah, that
actual
was a good
like
point,
threat
until
or
he got
not.
shot at.
He's like, "Hey, buddy, I didn't see you there." And all of a sudden, rounds are coming. He's like, "Yep, thought so." And then he neutralizes the threat and moves on.
Yeah, there are a couple tactical issues that I have with this, and they're super nitpicky, right? But one is, did Jack Carr's character shoot out of the front windshield? Or
It looked,
did he
it looked
look
like
the
he
same?
did, but I didn't see a gun come out. But I don't know. It looked like he went through the windshield.
It looked like it went through a windshield, and Jack knows, anyone who's ever shot through a windshield knows that shooting through a windshield is a bad idea.
Yeah.
You could do it in emergency, and I get Jack's in emergency because he's about to get lit up, but you're really working to punch a bunch of holes through that window at a time because the rounds deflect off the windshield. So it's not accurate until you create the hole, and then you can start shooting through that hole.
Yeah, like you said, though, emergency situations, you just want that guy to, you just want some time, right?
Yeah,
so if
get
there's
his head
rounds
down.
coming, doesn't matter how accurate you think they are or not, you're going to be like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
right?
so the only tactical thing I would say for Jack's character is, instead of initiating that gunfight, which they did more for the storyline, right,
Yeah.
to confirm that he was right, I would have just waited. He's clearly saying, "Hey, you okay, buddy?" He doesn't know if you're the bad guy or not yet.
Well, maybe
So
that's part of it. He
could-
was not as experienced.
you could wait till he gets up and then have a clear shot
Right.
outside the window and bop, 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 and
Yeah.
you could have put him down. The second thing is, again, with Jack Carr's character, is if you were able to get out of the vehicle, being a former police officer myself and doing a lot more vehicle tactics as a police officer than we ever did in special operations, we never want to stay inside the vehicle if we can. So as soon as he backs up and hits me, if I have my wits about me enough to shoot, I would rather get out of the vehicle and take off to the back of the vehicle to get cover and concealment, and then initiate the gunfight.
You're not trapped in the car at that
I would
point.
never initiate the gunfight being trapped in the car if I can help it. So there was just two options that were way better than initiating that gunfight without a solid shot through a windshield and being inside the vehicle.
Yeah, and like you said, those are obviously nitpicky for this scene. It was a cool scene, I
Super
thought.
nitpicky. I really, really, really like this scene. And obviously, everyone likes these scenes. My issue is, why are they so fucking few and far between? It's like you get one per hour-long episode, and it lasts 30 seconds.
You got to set the,
And then I got to wait
build
another...
the tone, build up the characters.
I wish that... I might, at 11:08, I could have just shut it off and went to the next episode and then waited for the next 30 seconds of cool guy. You know, like me. What's up, guys? This video is sponsored by 18 Alpha Fitness. If you haven't checked it out, and if you want to go special operations, you need a good fitness plan. Go check out Kevin over at 18 Alpha Fitness. He's a former Green Beret. He knows what he's doing. His post job from the military, from Special Forces, was helping Air Force Special Operations get physically fit. This guy is on point, and he's a great dude. He can do custom plans and just a common plan that I use, which is awesome, the kettlebell program. But I highly recommend you get a custom plan. Use code word BUCK, and he'll hook you up.